Are you out of your mind? Oh, you really would, wouldn't you? All right, fine. Tartarus secured.
Transmission terminated. How can I be of assistance?
Coward. I need to figure out the audio because this is just gonna be bugging me. Yep.
Pathetic. What was that? No prison.
Incoming!
Admit, I'm not too keen on walking into a prison. They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone trying to get back out.
Getting in's one thing. Let's just hope we're able to get out again. Nice of them to leave us a few options.
What was that?
My sights! Perfection! Something stronger!
Get in there, troops. For Monarch. For Halcyon.
Pass that arm. Doing this. Coming. Incoming! They're on us. Time for a drink?
Take a breath now, folks. Once we're up there. suspect we ain't gonna have time to stop shooting.
You know, I could have... Ha! No. You're on... What did they tempt you with, hmm? Calm down. I can't calm down. This is... I've got Adjutant Akande here with me, and I'm... No, it won't. If you insist on interfering, I will be forced to kill you, and I don't want that. I can't imagine... Of course you had a choice. You could have chosen any number of ways to... You could have fought back. You could have spit in the board. I don't want to hear that. No. The board's only strong because no one fights back. Let go. My life's work has been I expect. I've programmed the Labyrinth's mechanical warden to kill you on sight. I'm sorry to have to do this. You were my...
Thank the law you're here. That madman was out of control. You were right to put him down. He was too far gone to be of any use to us. And what about you? You aren't hurt, I hope. Your confidence is well earned, Captain. I was right to place my faith in you. You've put down the worst riot in our history, rid the colony of a dangerous madman, and saved my life. The board owes you a tremendous debt. We don't have a moment to lose. We're gonna have to work together to save Halcyon, because this... I would like nothing more than to celebrate your... We've lost all contact. 2 years ago,
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth was more than just some distant colonial authority, Dr. Fenhill. Earth was our lifeline. And now...
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
we must find a way to carry on by ourselves. For better or worse. We're alone, Captain. That's all I know. Yes, we do have a long road ahead of us. But I have faith in you. The service you've done for this colony is nothing short of extraordinary. You're the reason I'm still standing here today. The board will survive because of you. And as the board goes, so goes Halcyon. It's time we carried out the program. I trust I can count on your support, Captain. I'm pleased to hear that. The program is too important to hand over to the board's bureaucrats. That's why I'd like you to take the helm. I'll see to it that the Lifetime Employment Program operates under your supervision. We're on our own now.
Shoot his ass in the face.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment she landed in Emerald Vale, her actions altered the course of history. The riots in Tartarus ended in a total victory for the board. Without any significant threats to challenge their power, the board asserted their control over the colony. The Lifetime Employment Program began immediately, and the people of Halcyon did exactly what they were expected to do. They obeyed. Sophia Akande converted the labyrinth from a prison to a processing center. She jettisoned the original colonists out of the hull and transformed the ship into a massive storage facility. One by one, the workers of Halcyon surrendered themselves to the program. They arrived with their families and their friends, their colleagues and their neighbors, and then, one by one, they marched into their stasis chambers. As the workers of Halcyon slept in their hibernation chambers, their settlements became ghost towns, left behind by the board to be reclaimed by nature. Only Byzantium remained, a shining beacon of civilization in an otherwise abandoned colony. The people of Byzantium spent the rest of their days gorging themselves on their stockpile of resources. As for the workers of Halcyon, they never felt the effects of the collapse. They never felt anything at all. With the board shuttering many of its smaller townships, Graham was never able to spread his ideals to Byzantium. On Monarch, however, the iconoclast movement swelled, forming the colony's hotbed of philosophical thought and freedom, a consistent counterpoint to the board's capitalist regime. Or so they viewed themselves, at least. The Byzantium elite find it endearing that those anarchistic hoopleheads are still allowed to breathe Halcyon air. Edgewater's cannery met its production quota for the first time in 3 years. As a result, the adjutant rewarded every worker in Edgewater with a place in the Lifetime Employment Program. Reed Dobson was granted 25 years in suspended animation. However, a computing error adjusted his duration to 250 years. A trouble ticket to resolve this error remains open. Junlei Tennyson struggled to maintain the Groundbreakers' independence. Mechanical failures forced her to make increasingly uncomfortable compromises to stabilize. As smaller settlements were swallowed up, your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. As a reward for his part in her courageous rescue, the adjutant invited the vicar known as Max. Max eventually, though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. And she often wished aloud that her dad was still alive to teach her about the finer points of starship care and maintenance. As the board began to roll out their lifetime employment program, Parvati was plagued by dreams of freezing to death. She began taking increasingly longer shore leave. As hard as she tried to drink them away, Nyoka's memories eventually overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as a constant reminder of the family she'd lost, and so she eventually returned to Monarch. Before his untimely death, Captain Alex Hawthorne had plans to restore Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Adjutant Sophia Akande was instrumental in executing the lifetime employment, while the rest of Byzantium, with Halcyon's workers suspended in a state of hibernation, starvation and chaos are problems of the past. The lifetime employment program succeeded in its goals, but that success came at a price. The Halcyon of today is nothing at all like the colony of yesteryear. Powell remains constant. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? After the riots on Tartarus came to an end, you threw in your support with Sophia Akande. While Akande administered the board herself, you oversaw the lifetime employment program, stamping out corruption and negligence. Under your leadership, the program ran smoothly. Halcyon's workers were treated with a modicum of dignity. Your involvement kept the board honest and allowed the board scientists to work without the meddling of bureaucracy. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.